job. I have defended President Trump at every single corner on social media against some of these weak newcomer buyers that are trying to throw President Trump under the bus. You have to understand, President Trump is playing a very complicated game. Number one, President Trump has been remarkably consistent for well over a decade. Iran will not get a nuclear weapon, period. He said that repeatedly. He said that at campaign rallies and interviews. This is not a shock, and this is not a surprise. President Trump has also been critical, though, of the land of sand and death, as he called it, the never-ending wars in the Middle East that send our time, our treasure, and our troops into conflicts where we're trying to change the hearts and minds. And so President Trump is navigating this beautifully. And also understand there are some people like Lindsey Graham and James Lankford who are calling for regime change in Iran. Iran is a once great power. This was Persia. This is a very proud country. It's a big country. It's 2.5 times the size of Texas, 92 million people. So President Trump has to weigh all of this. He has earned our trust, and I believe he's going to bring this to completion for the betterment of all Americans.
I mean, you look at the polling, and it's pretty strong that nobody thinks that Iran should have a nuclear weapon, right? It's a government that's run by psychopathic Islamic fundamentalists. But at the same time, nobody wants another disaster in the Middle East, another Iraq, another Afghanistan. He's got to kind of balance these two things, and it just, you can see he's obviously put a lot of pressure the last couple of days. It felt like he was going to do something at any moment. It kept kind of escalating the rhetoric he was saying, and then all of a sudden now you're feeling this pause. He maybe wants to give Iran a chance to do the right thing, but at the same time he wants a full capitulation. It's a tough balance here.
It is. He wants unconditional surrender. And understand that President Trump has largely inherited a mess from Joe Biden and from Barack Obama, who set the table for Iran to be able to have this accelerated nuclear timeline, and they turned an eye on this. And so President Trump is trying to fix this mess. But understand, when President Trump issues a threat, he means it. President Trump used violent and precise action in the first Trump administration against Soleimani, against al-Baghdadi, against ISIS, against Syria. He did it recently against the Houthis. He is not a dove. He's not an isolationist. But also President Trump is interested in nation building, one nation, America. That is what he wants his focus to be, and only President Trump can navigate this.
It was funny because you saw how he talked about it yesterday. He was like, why didn't you come to me in the 60 days that we gave you? And Iran is trying to play the same game that everybody's been able to play with this country for a very long time, which is that we have a tremendous amount of patience with bad actors of the world, and it's run out. It has run out, and maybe he's saying in the next couple of weeks he's going to make his decision. We don't know if that means anything. I mean, he could see another, he could see more nonsense. Witkoff's talking to his, the same position over in Iran, and if he hears more just delay, stall nonsense, you have no idea when Trump's going to make this move. But this is not the same. These are not the same people that we saw under Biden and under Obama. And just to reinforce that, in the monologue, you heard from one of Obama's former advisors, who's now an MSNBC political analyst, this Richard Stengel guy, who says that Iran is a very pro-Western country, a very Western-friendly country. He marginalized the rhetoric that you hear from Iranian parliament. I mean, you talk about it's like these guys are delusional. And you think about Robert Malley that Biden had in his State Department that was just a Iran propagandist. And you see how Iran has gotten so spoiled by the actions of the United States and how they've become so indignant in their behavior.
Yeah, that's right. And we must understand that if we were to do forceful regime change, sounds good. Lindsey Graham is cheering for that. What would happen to the refugees? Where would they go? Millions of people going to the West. The country could fall into civil war. And understand, they're warriors there. These are the Persians. They were a great power for 1,000 years. Not even the Romans could defeat Persia. Now, I'm not saying they're comparable to our Marines or to our Air Force, but is that really the battle that we want in front of us? And President Trump understands this astutely. He understands that so many people are saying, you must bomb right now. You must bomb right now. And other people equally say, oh, don't worry about it. Who cares if Iran gets a nuclear weapon? So President Donald Trump has something that the history books will write about. This is what legends are made of. This is the moment that President Trump was elected for. The highest level statesman can only handle and can only manage. And that is to be able to balance two things. Number one, America does not want Iran to get a nuclear bomb. But number two, America does not want in any way, shape, or form to have a long quagmire in the Middle East to try to get into another Iraq or Libya or Syria or Afghanistan. And so it is a very difficult thread to needle, a highwire act. And I could tell you one other thing here, Rob, is that, as you know, I represent younger voters, especially those under the age of 30. President Donald Trump did something that I never would have been able to dream, and I was honored to be along for the ride. Win younger voters. The fact President Trump won the youth vote in Michigan, it's unbelievable. It's a 30-point swing. We've never seen anything like it. I will tell you, for younger voters especially, they're telling me on social media, they say, we love President Trump, but we have a little bit of caution about potentially getting into a regime change war in the Middle East. And that was one of the #1 reasons why we were able to bring so many Democrats over to vote for President Trump, because they're tired of the wars. They do not want more money being sent overseas when their own country is falling apart. And that's why they support President Trump, and one of the reasons why President Trump was able to win the youth vote.
You know, everybody's reporting the same stories, the same spin. You turn the channel, it's always the same. But not us. We're different. We report the real news. No spin, just the facts. Turn to us, and you won't turn back.
Tune in to Rob Schmitt Tonight on Newsmax.